Have you ever tried to picture something that's, well, truly infinite? I don't just mean a really big number, but a scale that completely breaks your brain. Well, today, we're going to dive into an ancient text that walks you through one of the most immense visualizations ever put into words. Okay, so right out of the gate, the text hits us with this. Let's try to wrap our heads around it. A yojana is an old unit of measurement, maybe 5 to 9 miles. A nayuta is a massive number, think 100 billion. Now imagine trying to count every single grain of sand in the river Ganges, and then multiplying that number by 100 billion and then doing that 60 trillion times. Yeah, it's a number that's specifically designed to short-circuit our normal way of thinking. And that's really the whole point, isn't it? This has nothing to do with math. It's all about contemplation. The text isn't just tossing out impossible numbers for fun. It's actually giving us a very specific roadmap, a way for the mind to journey from something totally incomprehensible to something deeply personal. So let's start that journey. We're going to zoom in on the cosmic form of the Buddha Amitābha. That's the Buddha of infinite life and light. And you'll see how the text cleverly anchors these huge abstract ideas to very specific features. First off, what's this form even made of? Well, the body is described as having the color of 100 trillion pieces of the absolute finest gold from a celestial realm called the Yama-heaven. We're talking about a color that's meant to represent purity and perfection on a totally divine level. And here we are again, back at that unbelievable number for the Buddha's height. The thing to get here is how the text uses a number like this. It's not a literal measurement, not at all. Think of it more as a tool for meditation, something designed to stretch your mind way past its normal everyday limits and just point you toward the idea of infinity itself. To make this scale even a little bit manageable, the text gives us these incredible cosmic analogies. So the little curl of white hair between the eyebrows, that's as big as 5 Mount Sumeru, the mythical mountain at the very center of the universe. And the Buddha's eyes, they're not just big, they're like the 4 great oceans, vast, deep, perfectly clear. It's just a brilliant way of using the entire known cosmos as a measuring stick for just a single feature. And from there, it just keeps unfolding. Light is pouring from every single pore, and each one of those rays of light is the size of a cosmic mountain. The halo around the Buddha isn't just some glowing circle. It's a space that contains 100 billion universes. And inside that halo, there are trillions of other Buddhas, and each of them has their own followers. It's like this incredible cascading fractal vision where every single part contains the whole thing all over again. Now, if your head is spinning a little bit right now, you're in good company. The scale is supposed to be mind-bending. But what's so amazing is that the text gives us a surprisingly simple, practical way to even approach this. It gives us a door, a gateway into the whole vision. So, the Buddha's form is said to have 84,000 major marks of perfection, and each of those has its own qualities, its own light. It's just an infinite variety of beauty and detail. So if you're faced with all that complexity, where do you possibly start? How could you ever hold that entire image in your mind? And here it is. This is the secret. The text says, don't even try to see it all at once. Start with just one single feature. Put all of your concentration on that white curl of hair between the eyebrows, the Baihao. The instruction is to make that one spot incredibly clear, luminous in your mind. And if you can just hold that one point steady, the text promises that all the other 84,000 marks will just appear, all on their own. So, we've got the what to visualize and the how to do it. But why? What's the point of this incredibly deep and complex visualization? This is where the whole thing shifts from being a mental exercise to a really profound philosophical insight. You see, when you successfully achieve this vision, it's a state called Nyanfo Samme, a deep meditative focus on the Buddha. And the text makes this really wild claim. It says that to see this one Buddha, Amitābha, in this way, is to see all Buddhas, everywhere, across all of time and space. The specific contains the universal. And this, right here, is the real heart of the practice. The visualization isn't really about seeing some external image. It's a bridge. The whole practice is designed to take you from the outer form, this incredible body of light, to the inner essence, to what the text calls the Buddha's heart, or the Buddha's mind. And what is that heart? The text says it as plainly as can be. Great compassion. That entire immeasurable, universe-sized vision, the light, the gold, the infinite Buddhas inside of Buddhas, it all boils down to being a manifestation of one single thing, boundless, unconditional compassion for every living being. So for the person who actually masters this whole contemplation, the text says the final reward is this profound spiritual state called non-arising endurance. You can kind of think of it as a deep, unshakable insight into how reality really works, a state where you're no longer trapped by the cycles of birth and death. All right, so to wrap this all up, the text gives this whole process a formal name. It's the Ninth Contemplation. And it makes one last, really crucial point about the method itself. And look, the text doesn't mince words here. It says that doing the visualization in this exact way, starting with the baiho and letting everything else unfold from there, that is the correct contemplation. It calls any other way of trying to do it incorrect. So it's really stressing that this path isn't just one option among many. It's considered the way to do it effectively. And so this whole incredible journey leaves us with this one big question to chew on. This whole practice is an act of seeing, right? But obviously not with our physical eyes. It's a structured, disciplined way of seeing with the mind. So what does that distinction between seeing with the eyes and seeing with the mind really tell us about the nature of reality itself, and maybe about the incredible potential that's hidden inside our own consciousness?